Okay, it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to get started. Good afternoon. This is Council Vice Chair Molly Cummings. It's Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Before I call the meeting to order, I'd like to say a few things about how we will conduct this meeting. I want to acknowledge that the COVID-19 pandemic is causing us to alter our usual procedures and to invite Minnesotans to participate in this meeting in a virtual capacity. As we all know, Governor Walz has declared a peacetime emergency in response to COVID-19, and I have determined it is not practical or prudent to conduct an in-person Metropolitan Council meeting for reasons stated in the Governor's emergency executive order. Accordingly, Metropolitan Council members will participate in this meeting via telephone or other electronic means, and this Metropolitan Council meeting will be conducted under Minnesota Statute Section 13D.021. Regrettably, this method of holding a meeting limits our ability to hear public comment from residents. In lieu of public comments at this meeting, I encourage members of the public to email us at public.info@metc.state.mn.us. That was public.info@metc.state.mn.us. We will respond to your comments in a timely manner. During this meeting, I will ask the council members utilize the wave or hand feature on the WebEx software to indicate that they would like to speak. I will call on members in the order I see their virtual hand. Members who are using a phone connection only should speak up when I call for any other discussion on the item. And I can't always see everybody, so if I miss you and you want to say something, just jump right on in. I ask that members again state their name when they're speaking to ensure members of the public can follow our discussion with ease. Because of the virtual nature of the meeting, we will call the roll for each business item. When we do so, Liz will call the roll in alphabetical order. If there are no questions, I will call the meeting to order by taking attendance by roll call to ensure we have a quorum for this meeting. Liz, please call the roll.
Atlas Ingebretson. Atlas Ingebretson. Barber. Chambliss.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
Fredson.
Here.
Gonzalez. Johnson.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Lilligren.
Here.
Lindstrom.
Here.
Musset.
Here.
Sterner.
Here.
Vento. Vento.
Here.
And Zurin.
Here.
And Councilmember Wolf was unable to attend. She had notified us ahead of time, and Councilmember Barber will be joining us when she is able. Next item is approval of the agenda. If there are no changes to the agenda, we do not need to take a vote on that. Are there any objections or changes to the agenda? No, seeing none, we will assume that the approval of the agenda is good to go and move on to the approval of the minutes. The next order of business is the meeting minutes from May 12, 2021. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Vento moves approval.
Second by Lee.
Right. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Liz, would you call the roll, please?
Chambliss.
Aye.
Cummings.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Fredson.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Lilligren.
Aye.
Lindstrom.
Aye.
Musset.
Aye.
Sterner.
Aye.
Vento.
Aye.
And Zurin.
Okay, we will consider that motion approved. Moving on, we have the consent agenda has a number of items. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Lilligren moves to approve.
Is there a second?
Lindstrom seconds.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. Liz, can you call the roll?
Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musset,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
and Vento.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Moving on to reports of the standing committee. The Community Development and Environment Committee both have reports that were included on the consent agenda. So the next report will be from the Management Committee, and in Council Member Ferguson's absence or loudness at the airport, we're going to have Council Member Johnson carry these two. Go ahead, Judy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Business item 2021-110, the labor agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, District Council 5, Local Union number 668. For background, in addition to the report that was on our agenda today, the AFSCME contract expired on December 31st of 2020. The union represents 621 employees who perform clerical, technical, and professional work for environmental services, community development, and regional administration. The parties reached a tentative agreement on April 21st, 2021, and following a recommendation from AFSCME Executive Board, the membership ratified the agreement on April 29th of 2021. Highlights of the agreement include a 3-year contract, a 2% general wage increase in years 1 and 2, and a 2.5 general increase the 3rd year of the contract for all active employees. For each year of the agreement, a performance pool of 1.5% to be distributed based on the individual performance ratings to employees whose compensation falls within the performance zone. Agreement also includes language that provides additional flexibility to human resources in managing eligibility lists as part of the hiring process. The wages and benefits negotiated in this agreement are consistent with the agreements in place with the Council's other labor unions. The cost of the labor agreement was reviewed by Finance and was negotiated within the economic parameters established by the Council. This item was reviewed and approved by the Management Committee on May 12th, 2021. It was moved by Lee, seconded by Barber, and the motion was carried. So, Madam Chair, the Management Committee moves approval to authorize the Regional Administrator to enter into a labor agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, District Council 5, Local Union 668, effective January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
Thank you, Council Member. Is there a second?
Ferguson.
I'll second.
And I think technically Judy needs to make the motion, not the management committee.
Oh, Madam Chair, with Chair Ferguson's advice, I would be I'll make the original motion.
Okay. And was it Councilmember Ferguson who seconded?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. Liz, would you call the roll, please?
Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musset,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
and Vento.
Zaren's here.
Aye.
Thank you. And Councilmember Zurin.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Thank you very much. Councilmember Johnson, you have another one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is business item 2021-27, same week, Microsoft Enterprise Agreement Renewal, Contract 21P057. This item is the renewal of the council's Microsoft agreement for another 3 years. This agreement includes technology, services such as email, Microsoft Office, and Windows. A competitive invitation for the bid was advertised using a new bid structure where resellers competed to offer the lowest markup percentage on top of Microsoft's cost. The new bid structure resulted in substantially better reseller pricing, with the lowest bid offering a markup of only 0.25%, saving an estimated $200,000 over the contract term. This agreement enables the council to adopt cloud services that are billed based on utilization rather than a traditional flat fee. Utilization-based billing presents an opportunity for cost savings. This authorization is for a maximum potential spend. Actuals will be based on utilization and are expected to be less. So, Madam Chair, I move that the Metropolitan Council, let me add too, this was also heard in management today at our management committee meeting on the 26th. So, Madam Chair, I would move that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to award and execute contract 21P057 with Insight Public Sector, Inc. for the Microsoft licenses and support of Windows, Office 365, SharePoint, Azure in an amount not to exceed $13.5 million.
Thank you, Judy. Councilmember Johnson has forwarded a motion. Is there a second?
Ferguson will second.
Second.
Very good. There's a motion and a second. Liz, would you call the roll, please?
Barber, Barber,
She put up her hand for
Ready.
aye.
okay, thank you. Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Got it. Yeah.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musset,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
Vento,
Aye.
Vento, thank you, and Zurin.
Aye.
Very good. Motion carries. Moving on, our last item is the Transportation Committee, and Councilmember Barber, welcome. You slid in just in time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just need to find my talking points because I did slide in very quickly here. Actually, I'll hand it off if we'll let Councilmember Chambliss do the first one so I can get organized, so I don't slow you
Okay.
down.
Okay, Councilmember Chambliss?
Okay, this is for 2021-107, right?
Correct.
Okay. Madam Chair and council members, business item 2021-107 is for providing bus diesel fuel and delivery services in an amount not to exceed $43,015,779.39. In summary, Metro Transit has 875 buses that require a new diesel fuel contract to continue service operations. Historically, this project has generated national interest among large fuel distributors due to the size of the contract. 6 bids were received. Mansfield Oil Company of Gainesville, Inc. was the lowest responsible bidder and is recommended for award. Funding is available in the Metro Transit annual operating budget. Therefore, Madam Chair, I move a proposed motion that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to award and execute a 4-year contract with Mansfield Oil Company of Gainesville, Inc. to provide bus diesel fuel and delivery services in an amount not to exceed $49,015,779.39.
Thank you, Reba. So Councilmember Chambliss has offered a motion. Is there a second?
A second by Barber.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing no one and hearing nothing. Liz, do you want to call the roll?
Yes. Atlas Ingebretson,
Aye.
Barber,
Aye.
Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson, Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musse,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
Vento,
Aye.
and Zuren.
Aye.
Thank you, Liz. And with that, that motion carries. Moving on, Councilmember Barber, would you like to take the second one?
Certainly. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Reba, for pinch hitting for me there. Madam Chair, council members, business item number 2021-108 is for executing a Southwest LRT change order. Early in the Southwest LRT planning, project areas with contaminated soils were identified and included in the project planning and environmental documents. While additional contaminated soils were not anticipated, this is a common occurrence in large civil construction projects. Oftentimes, despite extensive testing, exact environmental conditions aren't known until construction begins. With the increase in quantity, staff is looking to procure additional consultant support so that monitoring efforts can be maintained to meet project commitments. Project staff negotiated unit prices that are equal to the original bid amounts, plus a nominal escalation factor to account for current hauling costs. This change order is within the scope of the Southwest LRT project and will be part of the project's budget. It includes work performed by DBE firms such that LMJV will continue to maintain a minimum 16% DBE participation for the overall contract. Therefore, Madam Chair, I move that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator through the Southwest Light Rail Transit Council authorized representative to negotiate and execute a change order for contract 15P307A with London McCrossin Joint Venture in an amount not to exceed $21,155,890 for additional contaminated soil disposal.
Thank you, Councilmember Barber. She has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second by Lee.
That's an all second.
Very good. Is there any discussion?
Chair, I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. This is Councilmember Atlas Ingebretson. And in the summary committee report, it mentioned that the types of contamination that it might be in. I'm just wondering if there was any greater clarity from between now and then and today about what the type of contamination is. And if that's not available, that's I'm happy to hear offline or afterwards.
Oh, Madam Chair, we do have Jim Alexander here if he could probably address.
Yes. Mr. Alexander?
Good afternoon, council members, Madam Chair, council members. I do have, in terms of the contamination that was out there, most of this contamination had been identified through investigation during the engineering phase. However, along the railroad, we did encounter some more contaminants really related to railroad debris that we couldn't just use willy-nilly. It has to go to a landfill. It really kind of spans the spectrum in terms of contamination out there. There are some chemicals, there's asbestos, there's wood ties, those type of things that are involved in the contamination.
Chair, Jim, thank you. Could I follow up?
Certainly, go ahead.
Have we communicated with community members? Is there anything concerning that we need to do differently about notifications around folks impacted or?
Madam Chair, Councilmember, I don't think there really is. We did have a couple of questions related when we brought this up to the Transportation Committee that we've addressed with some community members, but I don't think there's really anything new out there that would require much more than just fielding questions that we get with our outreach staff.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on this? There's been a motion and a second.
Yes, one.
Councilmember Chambliss.
Yes, I was the person at the Transportation Committee that asked some specific questions about the contamination. And the reason why I asked about the reporting of the contamination to the community was because I was wondering if it would be a great idea to be proactive in reporting contamination on a regular basis when it's found, just in terms of good faith and good neighbor effort.
Mr. Alexander?
Madam Chair, Councilmember, we do have a relationship with MPCA that we do report that information. I'd have to kind of see how those reports are generated and work with our outreach folks to see what we could do with that. Maybe I could investigate that and follow up maybe separately with you if that'd work.
Great, and since Linnea also had a question, if you could copy her.
Will do.
Thank you.
Chair, this is Councilmember Atlas Ingebretson. I just think that's a great idea, Reva, and I think that that goes a long way to building positive relationships. I think there's some community members who would maybe be surprised and could help them feel it's a good thing that we're catching those kinds of things and being able to remove them from the community. So I think there could be a great win there for everybody. Thanks for that suggestion, Reva.
Sure.
Councilmember Vento.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jim, I'd like to be included in that communication as well.
Madam Chair, council members, why don't I just include the fall council? And so.
Sounds good. Very good. Any other discussion on this? Questions, comments? Seeing none, Liz, do you want to call the roll?
Atlas Ingebretson,
Aye.
Barber,
Aye.
Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musse,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
Vento,
Aye.
and Zurin.
Aye.
Good, that motion carries as well. Moving on, there is a third item. Councilmember Barber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, council members, business item number 2021-129 is a same week item regarding approval of 4 master contracts for electric bus and charging infrastructure services. Engineering and Facilities is responsible for the charging infrastructure needed to fuel electric buses. Example projects that these contracts are intended to support include program management services to assist for updating Metro Transit's electrification strategy and transition planning, and design, construction, and commissioning services for future charging infrastructure goals. We have Carrie Desmond here. She's going to provide a short presentation and will update both on the C-Line electric buses and chargers and some other research and upcoming work related to the electrification of the fleet.
Very good.
Thank you, Chair Barber. My name's Carrie Desmond. I'm a principal engineer with Metro Transit Engineering and Facilities, responsible for the electric bus charging infrastructure. Next slide, please. A few updates since General Manager Koistra updated this group in March of what staff have been working on, starting with the C-Line electric bus pilot and the Haywood chargers. We're continuing to make good progress with New Flyer and Siemens working to replace that equipment. We're scheduled to have staff travel to the factory in June to witness acceptance testing and release that equipment for shipment to Metro Transit, and then the installation and on-site testing and commissioning will follow. So those activities will precede C-Line electric buses being returned to service, hopefully later this summer. We've also been working on a number of funding opportunities to help with electrification efforts. Metro Transit submitted a low and no emissions grant application in April that would assist with purchasing 8 40-foot buses to help pilot that technology. And we've also submitted requests to our federal delegation for congressionally directed spending to assist with purchasing 40-foot buses as well. And then specific to the partnership with Xcel Energy, we're continuing to work closely with them on the proposal that's in front of the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission for an dedicated set of funding for $65 million in rebates towards electric vehicles. And some of the recent activity with that item in particular, we submitted a letter of support formally to the docket that was signed by Chair Zelli and General Manager Koistra earlier this week. We've met with advocate groups a few different times to help answer some of the questions they have about our operations and how we would use this funding. And we also have an opportunity for any council members that are interested, if you'd like to submit your own letter of support for this effort or reach out to any of your constituents that you think might be interested in this effort. I'll be following up with an email to council members on how you can do that, sharing the letter that was submitted and some additional information on it. Next slide, please. So specific to today's business item, was there a question? I just got some feedback on my speaker.
I don't think so. I think you can continue.
Okay, I'll continue. So specific to today's business item, we have 4 master contracts we're looking to award to help with technical services related to electrification. The first contract is for design services. So this would provide engineering and architectural services as we're doing infrastructure projects. These are things like chargers at the garage or en route for the buses, or investigating alternative zero emission fueling options. And then once we have projects designed, we need assistance during construction. So having a second contract for construction support services to act as the council's representative during construction. The third contract is for testing and commissioning. This helps ensure that the equipment performs as designed and that it's ready for acceptance and payment. And the final contract is for program management services. I'll go into a little more detail on this one, but this is the contract we really envision helping assist the council in developing a zero emissions bus transition plan. Next slide. So the first work order we anticipate awarding under these masters will be to the program management contract to help us really define what are the guiding principles that are going to help frame this transition effort, help facilitate the council and Metro Transit establishing goals and milestones around transitioning the fleet to zero emission vehicles. And then taking that information that sets the framework and doing an assessment to evaluate our service, our vehicles, our facilities, so we can translate that into a prioritized program of projects that are discrete things we can implement, and help us really frame as well, you know, what are the risks, what are the challenges with this implementation, and how do we address those? Next slide, please. So the proposed action for today is that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to award and execute 4 master contracts for electric bus services to support Metro Transit engineering and facilities. The first contract, 20P 262A, is for design to HDR Engineering in the amount of $550,000. The second contract, B, is for construction support services to HDR Engineering in the amount of $400,000. The third contract, C, is for commissioning services to Stanley Consultants in the amount of $450,000. And the final contract, D, is for program management services to AECom for $700,000.
Thank you, Ms. Desmond. Are there any questions on Ms. Desmond's presentation? No, seeing none. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I need to make the motion. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Madam Chair, I move that the Metropolitan Council approve 4 master contracts for electric bus and charging infrastructure services to support Metro Transit engineering and facilities as outlined in the business item.
Very good. Now there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Lindstrom will second that one.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? I can't tell, Linnea, if you're trying to say something and it's choppy.
I just do that so I'm ready because I'm the first one they call. I got to be on my toes.
I have a question, I guess, Ms. Desmond. Do you have any idea when the grant might be, when the notification on the grant for the low and no might be made?
We anticipate we'll hear that by the end of June.
Okay, good. Not very far away. So there is a motion and a second. And if there are no further questions, Liz, would you please call the roll?
Atlas Ingebretson,
Aye. So you got to be fast.
Barber,
Aye.
Chambliss,
Aye.
Cummings,
Aye.
Ferguson,
Aye.
Fredson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Lilligren,
Aye.
Lindstrom,
Aye.
Musse,
Aye.
Sterner,
Aye.
Vento,
Aye.
and Zurin.
Aye.
That motion carries as well. That's the end of our business items for this evening. So moving on, do the council members have any reports that you would like to share? Anybody? No? Mary, I think you're on. I think
Chambliss.
Oh, sorry, I can't see. So, okay, Councilmember Chambliss.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I'm just wanted to say that we received a preview of the Brooklyn Center Transit Center upgrade, and we will be seeing that opening coming soon. So more to come on that. A great addition to our transit corridor system.
Great. Thank you. Councilmember Barber.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Councilmember Chambliss, for pointing that out. There will be an unveiling ceremony for that. Will be June 26th. So all council members, you should be able to look for that in your email. So.
Great. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Mary Bogey, do you have a report?
Madam Vice Chair, I have nothing for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. And General Counsel Bloodhart, do you have anything to share?
Madam Vice Chair, I have no report either. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that concludes our business and our discussion. It's a gorgeous evening and before Memorial Day weekend, so I hope everyone has a safe and enjoyable and relaxing long weekend. Linnea, are you trying to say something? You're kind of popping in and out.
Nope, just getting ready to say goodbye.
All right. that case, we'll all say goodbye and we are adjourned.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
Happy
you.
weekend.
You too.